What if one movement could save the lives of millions of women around the world? Ovarian cancer is the deadliest female cancer, but there is still no way to detect it in the early critical stages.
I think people are completely unaware of the scale of this disease. This is happening around us all the time.
There are no answers, there is no test, and years of chronic underfunding have meant there has been little advancement for this disease.
Over 300,000 women globally are found to have ovarian cancer every year, and most of the time it's found at a very late stage.
It's cruel because there aren't many symptoms, and then when there are, it's often just too late. We wanted to change that. We wanted to get answers.
Not one of my doctors has been able to tell me, this is what caused your cancer.
There is another mother out there who has to tell her daughter she's not going to make it.
I just could not make sense of how they could miss it.
There is a daughter right now who's just been told she will lose her mother.
I just think of my children. I feel like I'm abandoning them, and I would never leave them.
It's simply not good enough. We all deserve better.
When we were doing research into how we could get involved and make a difference, prevention seemed the most obvious thing to focus on. And with that, discovering an early detection test such that you could then change the diagnosis and save people's lives.
We found Professor Caroline Ford. She really blew us away. We decided that that was where Camilla and Mark as a brand should put our efforts.
I absolutely believe that women deserve better. They have been overlooked and stigmatised and misunderstood for ever, and that really needs to change. Over the last 5 years, we've been able to partner with Camilla and Mark themselves, but also their incredible team, to think about how we can actually do science a little differently, and certainly how we can fund science differently. We don't have any time to wait. We've been waiting long enough.
We started our detection test by looking at the whole of the human genome, which is about 20,000 genes. We've narrowed it down to 3 genes that are quite specific for ovarian cancer. So the test would be based on a blood sample that contains tumor DNA. It will be life-changing for women globally.
If you can pick up the cancer at stage 1, you actually can have curative surgery. And we know when we rarely pick up someone with a stage 1 ovarian cancer, the survival rates can be higher than 90%.
We want to change the statistics. We want to change outcomes. We want a better future for our children and our children's children. And we can't just sit by and have nothing happen. It's just not good enough.
The reality is I'm going to die of this disease way before my time. And that's a hard pill to swallow.
The early detection test would have meant that I could have had the life that I worked so hard for.
I've just got everything crossed because I want to be here to have that conversation with my granddaughters that can't believe there was no detection test in your day, Nan. That's the words I want to hear, so.
If this had been a routine test, I'm sure it would have changed the diagnosis for our mother.
Not only would she have survived, but she would have been here to see Mark and I get married, start our business, meet our children. Sorry. The hopes and dreams is that this test does get into clinical trials and it is available for every woman at their local GP. It would be amazing. It would be a game changer. For women everywhere, for our daughters, in honour of our mother. Never, ever give up. The future is in our hands.